Standing here alone.
With most cryptocurrencies, you trade coins or tokens. With Verge currency, you spend currency. The new iOS wallet, now available on the App Store.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Turn 3 Racing Network. As tonight, we are here at Lanier National Speedway as the Upstate Racing League, fueled by Verge, presents the Southern Heat by Race Replicas by Kenny Johnson. And here we are once again for another outstanding night of super late models, short tracks, and some spectacular action. And in the booth with me is none other than the very professional Kelly Dahl.
Yeah, here for the halfway point in the chase, and I am excited for this race to happen because there are a lot of stories for us to talk about, and it's really just going to be exciting to see how all these shape up. I mean, you've got Joe Schaefer. He dominated in the All-Star race here at this track a few weeks ago, so the question is he going to be able to continue that domination tonight, or have these guys learned something from that race and be able to take the fight to him? Steph Marinac, he's got to stay on top of things. I mean, he's got the lead in the point standings, but it's still a very close lead. And there's a few guys like Justin McDuff and Chris Stump that have just encountered some early problems, and that's put them a little bit further back in this championship hunt. But with still 3 races to go, or 3 races to go even after tonight, there's a lot that could happen.
Oh man, there's still so much to be decided. We got 3 weeks left in the season. Don't forget that doubleheader to round out this championship race. And that is going to, well, I'm looking forward to that night. A doubleheader, action-packed kind of night. Ought to be ought to be a good time.
Yeah, going to be a bit of a longer night for us with 2 100-lap races at New Smyrna, but that night is just going to be a fun night. I'm hoping that these guys are able to keep this championship battle close so that it comes down to this last race, and if the point standings now are any indication, it will be close.
Well, as we look at the points for our chase drivers, Steph Marinac sitting on top of that position there with the 1147 total points. Guillaume Fortin is only 12 points behind Stefan, so that battle is very close. But Joe Schaefer in that 6 machine, just 6 points behind Guillaume. Jim McIntyre in 4th, and Justin McDuff rounding out the top 5 in our point standings for the chase. Chris Stump, Bill Martin, Justin Fuller, Brian Hacker, and Scott Austin all within striking distance, but man, they've got to find some extra points here and there if they want to try and stay in this.
And looking at our second championship, we've got the best of the rest award that goes to the top driver that's not in the chase, so basically the 11th place driver. And at the moment, Al Smith with a huge lead in that one, 46 points over Brian Rogers Jr. And then we got Hugo Paquette, another 6 points back from Brian Rogers. So as long as Al can continue a good, consistent pace until the end of the chase, I think he may have that best of the rest award locked up.
Well, guys, tonight at Racing Action is brought to you by the Western Super Series. Not only that, but don't forget our Brian Rogers Motorsports Rookie of the Year Award is going on out there. So many rookies putting on a heck of a show week in and week out. And of course, all of this is made possible as Fueled by Verge is the title, or wow, title sponsor. I'll spit it out sooner or later for Upstate Racing League. As we get ready to go into qualifying, Kelly, 2 minutes to lay down 2 laps.
Yeah, taking a quick look at our final practice times, Joe Schaefer did lead the whole field with his fastest time of 13.5, but Now you've got to be able, that's over a whole hour of just putting down laps, and maybe it's just that the track conditions lined up just perfectly for that. Now you've got 2 minutes, 2 laps. You have no extra time to really make a mistake. You have to be perfect through these 2 laps to be able to put down a fast time. So we'll have to just wait and see when these times are going to roll in. Drivers taking the green flag just now, and actually Scott Austin having some issues spinning off of turn 4.
The 5 machine backing up as he has not yet taken the green flag, so he's going to try it once again and get rolling. He gets on the throttle and away goes the 5, but right now the 33 of Hugo Paquette sitting on top of the speed chart. The 81 of Jimmy McIntyre pulling down onto pit road. The 42 of Brett Bartels as he is out on track for his qualifying time. And Brett looking for a quick lap here.
And Brett Bartel is going to come across the line with 13.751. That's be put him right in about in the middle of the field. Still no one able to beat Hugo Paquette just yet. 13.600, and that's one of the almost kind of larger gaps throughout these positions. Now a tie for second place is Steph Marinac, Joe Schaefer, both putting down a 13.635, so that's going to go to the 4th decimal place, which I do not have on my screen.
Very close run there for second place, but Joe Schaefer going to end up in 3rd. Steph Marinac holding on to 2nd for that qualifying top 10 directly into the main event. Everyone else into the heat race. As the heat race is starting to line up, it is time to go through our best colorful creations starting lineup. Row number 1, the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre and the 96 of Al Smith.
Row number 2, we're going to see the 31 of Brad Carpenter and the 90 of Matt Roll.
Row 3 is going to be the 12 machine of Brian Rogers Jr. and on his outside, the 51 of Justin Fuller.
Row number 4 is going to see the 18 of AJ Hamill and the 71 of Jeremy Watkins.
And that is our heat race lineup for tonight's event. As Jimmy McIntyre in the 81 and Al Smith in the 96 going to be on the front row for this one. 12 lap heat race. We're going to start to see some fireworks early. Jimmy McIntyre and Al Smith, teammates on the front row for this heat race. I don't know about you, but if I'm Jimmy McIntyre, I might wiggle just a little bit trying to get Al a bit out of shape, just for, laughs.
I don't know, it could be an exciting battle between the two of them because they're another pair that tied during qualifying. 13.762 for both of them, so this may be interesting, but I'd give the advantage to Jimmy McIntyre starting on the inside.
The inside lane is going to be the dominant one here early on as the pace car gets ready to peel off. The 81 of Jimmy McIntyre and the 96 of Al Smith get ready to unleash their machines as the green flag comes out. Heat race number 1, 12 laps listed for this one, and side by side McIntyre and Smith down the backstretch, but now Al Smith had a chance to drop down to the inside, but he's going to stay on the outside lane and now tucks in behind the 81.
And Brad Carpenter tried to look down the inside off the start. He was able to really time that green flag just right and had a fantastic run, but just decided to back off at the last second. Didn't realize that trying to go 3 wide into 1 during a heat race where everyone would make it may not have been the best idea. So really a smart move. Oh, now getting into the wall. So problems for that 31 machine. Matt Roll now right on his bumper as the field behind them stacks up.
We ride on board with the 90 machine of Matt Roll as he sits in 4th place. All the drivers here in this heat race are going to make the event here tonight. Nobody getting sent home, so they are battling it out for starting positions as the 51 of Justin Fuller is going to dive down underneath the 12 of Brian Rogers.
And Fuller does not want to be in this heat race, and he being stuck here now, he wants to have as good of a finish as possible because he's already really far down in the chase standings, currently sitting 67 points behind Steph Marinac, so he really needs a strong finish here tonight if he has any hope of making it into the championship hunt in the last couple weeks.
Ooh, the 12 machine of Brian Rogers is gone around, and the yellow flag is gonna come out, as it looked like Brian Rogers just got loose coming up off the corner. Go to our turn 3 instant replay. Let's check this one out. The 12 has the 18 machine of AJ Hamill right behind him, but that 12 is just going to get loose as he tried to get the power down, and around he will go.
Yeah, you have to be very careful with the throttle out of the corners in these super late models. We've seen that the entire season. Is especially more prevalent on these slower tracks, the ones that have the tighter and slower corners, where they just try to match the throttle coming off the corner, and that car's just going to try to step out on them. So that's going to be something these guys are going to contend with throughout the night. We've seen a few other guys have a couple wiggles off the corner, but unfortunately that's just going to catch the 12 off guard, and I believe he's going to call it for the heat race.
Yeah, as he is pulled straight onto pit road, it would be very difficult to come back, as they're going to have, I think, a green-white checkered attempt to get this thing in. The lights will go out with 2 to go here in the heat race.
We'll have to wait and see if lights do go out on the pace car. They're still on at the moment, but now coming around to the start finish line, will we get to go green or not? Lights are out.
So a green-white checkered attempt to finish out the heat race for tonight.
Not even going to be a green-white checker. They're going to get the green and the white at the same time.
Green and white at the same time. So final lap, here we go. Take it away, Kelly.
Green flag immediately comes out in the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre jumping out to the lead. Al Smith having a gap to go to the bottom, but he wants to try to go for the win, taking the high side. That's going to cost him. He slows way up, and they go 3 wide to the middle of the field. 31 backs way out. And here comes the 51 of Justin Fuller. He's going to launch ahead into second. Jimmy McIntyre, though, going to win the heat race. But Justin Fuller, I think he started that thing way back in maybe 5th.
Yeah, a good, solid finish by Justin Fuller for that heat race. Moving it all the way up into second place. And so now, as the drivers go into their warm-up, we are going to step away and play our national anthems for both countries here. And we will be back in just a moment.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Southern National Motorsports Park as the drivers are in their warm-up session and we get ready to bring you tonight's race. And Kelly, before we do that, we gotta pay some bills, so let's talk a little bit about the people who have helped make this race possible.
Yeah, tonight's sponsor is Race Replicas by Kenny Johnson. He's the official diecast supplier of the Upstate Racing League. You look him up online, Kenny can make a replica of your iRacing ride. And the Upstate Racing League Pro Late Model Series is brought to you by Verge Currency. Verge is a cryptocurrency designed for people and for everyday use. It improves upon the original Bitcoin blockchain, aims to fulfill its initial purpose of providing individuals and businesses with a fast, efficient, and decentralized way of making direct transactions while maintaining your privacy. So, big thank you to both of our sponsors here tonight, and we also have many, many more sponsors for our numerous awards.
Well, as we get ready for this, we're just over 3.5 minutes left in the warm-up session. And Kelly, I don't know about you, but I'm ready for tonight's event.
Yeah, like I mentioned, we've got so many questions up in the air. Another big one that I didn't touch on is Rookie of the Year standings. We've got Bill Martin and Joe Schaefer. Those are our two biggest contenders right now, and they are separated by 5 points. The whole season, nearly the whole season has gone by, and still these two are separated by only 5 points. So that might even be a tighter chase than our actual championship right now.
Going for that Brian Rogers Motorsports Rookie of the Year award. But the drivers are going to start lining up, and it is time to go through our best colorful creations starting lineup. Row number 1, Justin McDuff in the 20 machine, and on his outside, the 39 of Bill Martin.
Row number 2 is going to be Guillaume Fortin and the 17 of AJ Rogers.
Row 3 will be the 98 of Chris Stump and the 6 of Joe Schaefer.
Row number 4, we're going to see the championship leader, the 2 of Steph Marinac, and our Arts Barbershop Quick Clip Time Trial Award winner. That's the 33 of Hugo Paquette, who was able to hold on to the fastest time with a 13.600.
Row number 5 will be the 88 of Matt McLean and the 42 of Brett Bartels.
Row number 6, we're going to see the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre and the 51 of Justin Fuller.
Row number 7 will be the 96 of Al Smith and the 90 of Matt Roll.
Row number 8 will be the 18 of AJ Hamill and the 71 of Jeremy Watkin.
Row number 9 will be the 31 of Brad Carpenter and then the 12 of Brian Rogers Jr. That is going to make up our 18-car lineup here tonight. As Justin McDuff will start on the front row with the 39 of Bill Martin. Bill Martin picked up the All-Star win here at Southern National, and he is on the front row, so the rest of the field being put on notice But the 20 of Justin McDuff, no slouch himself. He's going to be on the inside for this start. Pace car down and away, and the green flag is out, and we are underway here tonight for our 125 lap race.
And Bill Martin on the outside strong. We thought the inside was going to be the dominant line early on. We saw it be dominant in the heat race, but Bill Martin completes the pass on the outside for take over the race lead. Now that 20 car trying to do his best to get back into the momentum and chase after that 39 who was rocketing off ahead already.
Yeah, Bill Martin pulling away very quickly here. He is trying to outrun any bad luck that he has come across here lately, and he is in need of a good points haul here tonight.
And big battles throughout the field, the 17 and the 2 banging doors multiple times coming down the back straightaway. Now into turn 1, that's 2 of Steph Marinac has the inside line and has the advantage. Just behind them, the 6 of Joe Schaefer cuts down right in front of the 88 of McLean to get back to the inside line. And AJ Rogers struggling on that high line. Started in 4th, has now dropped down to 6th and is in trouble and may be losing out to 7th.
That is the 33 of Hugo Paquette that is battling door to door with the 17 of AJ Rogers. Rogers doing a good job of hanging tough on that outside lane, but now he is starting to lose some ground. Hugo starting to inch forward, and that is also going to allow the 6 of Joe Schaefer an opening to drop down and keep that 17 from getting back in line.
We saw Bill Martin pull off the move on the high side, but AJ Rogers is not able to find that same speed that 39 machine was able to find. Now he is definitely struggling. The whole field is starting to go by. Now the 88 of Matt McLean trying to get in, but no, the 17 is going to slam the door and get to the inside. And now that 51 machine taking a peek to the high side, but taking a look back up at the front, Bill Martin has already gapped Justin McDuff by half a second.
Bill Martin got an awesome start and has not looked back. He has been out front now for the first 9 laps. That 39 machine in a hurry to get this race over. Still got a lot of laps to go though. The 20 of Justin McDuff holding on to 2nd place, but Guillaume Fortin in that 13 machine right now, he is in 3rd place with Chris Stump in that 98 right behind him in 4th. With that 33 machine of Hugo Paquette, he is a man on the move, winning our Quick Clip Time Trial Award. That 33 machine now moves into 5th place as he works his way underneath the 2 of Steph Marinac.
Yeah, but this is what Bill Martin needs. He's been sitting. Oh, trouble between the 6 and the 2. The 2 goes sideways. Caution is out. The field scatters to avoid him, but looks like that's going to be the worst of it, as somehow that Steph Marinac able to save that car from getting any more damage and might actually pretty much have a clean car.
We go to our blimp cam provided by Austin Designs for this one. The 6 down on the inside, the 2 on the outside. Hugo Paquette had just gotten around, and the 6 of Joe Schaefer just making slight contact with the 2 of Steph Marinac. Marinac able to straighten it back out and get rolling, and no other cars really got into contact with the 2.
Yeah, just that 2 car may be frustrated with the slide, but can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that his car is still in great shape, was able to keep it off the wall. No other drivers slammed into him, so he may have lost a few positions and lost some track space, but he has still got a car that can win the race. But now he's got a few more drivers to pass to get in front of him, and that's something that Bill Martin is going to want to see. He's a little bit further back in the points, sitting 7th in the chase, 46 points back of Steph Marinac. But if Steph keeps running into troubles and Bill keeps running away with this race, he may move himself up just a little bit.
So the first caution coming out here tonight at Southern National. Bill Martin, your race leader. Lights go out on that Ford Mustang. So the field gonna stack up. This time, Justin McDuff going to be on the outside, Bill Martin on the inside. We'll see if the 20 can return the favorite of Bill Martin from that amazing start that the 39 had. Now, here we go. Green flag is out, and Bill Martin wasted no time getting on the throttle, never gave Justin McDuff the chance in the outside lane.
And now the big question is, will Guillaume Fortin be able to hold off on the inside and be able to make the move and slide into second place? Big battle between him and the 20, neither one giving an inch. Guillaume's got that preferred inside line, but Bill Martin showed us the outside can be fast and can make a move. And now Justin McDuff trying to mimic what that 39 did to him, as they're still door to door.
6 cars all running door to door right there. The 13 of Guillaume finally going to slide into second place. The 33 Hugo Paquette going to try and fill the hole that the 20 could not. And now Justin McDuff in danger of being freight trained here. He has got to find an opening and find a way to get that machine down on the inside lane.
And he's not the only one stuck on the high side. So is Joe Schaefer there. He's door to door with that 17 AJ Rogers. AJ knows exactly how it feels to be stuck on that high side, as that happened to him off the initial start. Rogers spinning the tires just a little bit off of turn number 2, getting that car back under control, and that's actually going to cause him to lose the spot in that 6 car. And the 6 had an opening, but decided to keep trying to go for that 98 on the outside.
Meanwhile, the 51 of Justin Fuller, he is trying to work his way through this field as well. The 2 of Steph Marinac on his outside, and then the 88 of Matt McLean. He is right there watching this battle unfold as we go on board with the 88 machine. McLean, a rookie here with the Upstate Racing League, has had a solid season in this 88 and not a bad showing for his first time out here with this group of drivers.
And something to keep in mind, this league has a caution claim rule, and neither of the drivers that were involved in that previous incident claimed that caution. So it will be looked at after the race, and I believe it's a points penalty for whichever driver is deemed to have caused that incident. So that is going to be a huge, problems for that 51 of Justin Fuller. Gets loose off of the corner, spins the tires, able to regather it, but now that 2 of Steph Marinac going to try to make the move on around the outside. 51 again spinning the tires, so some problems for Fuller. He's now overheated those rear tires, and he's struggling for grip.
Fuller going to try and slide into line. The 88 of Matt McLean lets him up in front of him, and McLean now needs to try and take advantage of what could potentially be a cautious 51 as Justin Fuller tries to cool off those rear tires. He might hesitate a little bit longer before rolling into the throttle, maybe not roll into it as aggressively, but Matt McLean so far unable to do anything with that 51 machine.
Taking a look back up at the race lead, Bill Martin has a 1 second lead over Guillaume Fortin, and that is huge. But at the same time, is Martin possibly running those tires just a little bit too hard? I mean, these guys are not allowed to change their tires, and tire conservation is a huge factor in all Upstate Racing League races. So is Bill pushing it just a little bit too hard too early on? We know he's wanting to be aggressive and get these points that he's been missing these first couple races, but this may end up costing him if he's been pushing a little too hard too early.
I'll tell you what, Bill Martin ran a heck of a race here for the All-Star event, as the caution flag is gonna come out. I think our problems are going to be with the 18 of AJ Hamill as he is on pit road. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay and see what happened to the 18 machine. The 90 of Matt Roll gonna get underneath and make contact, and AJ Hamill gonna get stuck into that pit barrier. Take another look at this one here, but Matt Roll drove in deep into the corner, and then everyone gets bunched up behind them. And so the 18 AJ Hamill sitting on pit road, and we are under caution for the second time here tonight.
Yeah, and that happened dangerously close to Bill Martin. I mean, that caution flew right as he was approaching the corner where these guys had all gotten into each other. Matt Roll is going to claim that caution, so he will move to the tail end of the field, and I believe he was may have been already back there after being involved in that incident. So not too much lost from Matt by claiming that caution. Just be it's always good to be on the safe side. If you're already back in the field, just play it safe, claim the caution, and then fight your way back.
Bill Martin this time will have a new challenger in the outside lane for this restart. That will be the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. Row number 2 for this restart is going to be the 33 Hugo Paquette and the 20 of Justin McDuff. And Hugo, who set our quick time here tonight, and due to the invert restart, or had to start in the 4th row, he now finds himself inside row number 2 to be watching for that 33 here to make some moves before too much longer for the race lead.
Now we'll have to see if Paquette is going to be able to basically do what Guillaume did last time around, and that's make the move from that 2nd row. Pace car now down and away. 39 immediately getting on the throttle, and here comes Paquette trying to get to the inside of Guillaume. Guillaume thought about going down to the bottom, but just didn't quite have the time. Now getting the run out of the turn, and that's going to allow him to hold on to 2nd place. Now that 33 having to defend against the outside. A bit of a lift from Justin McDuff is, I think, oh, the net code contact between the 98 and the 20, and that's going to send the 20 around.
Justin McDuff into the wrong direction here. The 12 of Brian Rogers getting involved in this one as well. Let's back this one up a little bit as we go to our instant replay here. See the 98 and the 33 all right there. The 6 of Joe Schaefer and the 20 gonna go around. Brett Bartels trying to avoid it. The 12 of Rogers unable to, and Matt Roll also getting a little piece of the action. But Bill Martin out front still, as he's led all 41 completed laps here tonight.
And that was just an unfortunate case as a net code contact. That caught not only the 20, but it also looks like may have tapped the front end of the 6, but that 98 machine was nowhere near the 6 car at all. So just really unfortunate for the 20, who just caught the worst of it. Also got hit both in the front and the rear, and the 12 also catching some damage as Matt Roll ran right into the back of him.
With the caution flag flying here at Southern National, Bill Martin and Guillaume Fortin are going to stack back up as they were just a few laps ago. Hugo Paquette in that 33 machine will restart on the inside of row number 2 with Chris Stump on the outside of him. And Chris Stump in that 98 machine. We haven't talked a whole lot about Chris here tonight. Kind of been having a slow but steady march forward after he started in 5th, but didn't get that good of a start and wasn't really been able to make anything of it yet.
And he's another one of those guys that needs a good finish here tonight to have any championship hopes throughout the end of the season. He's sitting currently 41 points back from Steph Marinac and just a few points ahead of Bill Martin. So Stump looking to have a solid finish here tonight, get himself back into that title contention.
Here we go, green flag back out, and the 39 of Bill Martin getting a good jump. The 13 of Guillaume Fortin, he's looking to clear the 33 of Hugo Paquette and is going to do so down the backstretch. Chris Stump in that 98 machine, he's trying to make that outside lane work and make the pass on the 33. But Hugo going to be a tough one to pass in the outside lane.
Yeah, Hugo's been quick here tonight. Now we're seeing if he can stay in that inside line. He is going to get a good run down the front straightaway. It was about half a car length ahead of the 98. Now, again, this time just a little bit further ahead. 98 only had his rear quarter panel that time. And now coming to the front straight. Oh, 98 into the wall. That's going to allow that 33 to clear that time.
Yeah, Chris Stump, heavy contact with that outside wall. He's not done losing positions just yet. He is still dropping back. The 51 going underneath him. Chris Stump going way up high. And he has got something wrong with that car. He is having a hard time keeping it down in that racing line.
Yeah, I think he's damaged his car when he hit the wall that last time. Looks like he's got some heavy damage to the right front, and he may have just kind of knocked that right front out of alignment and is just kind of burning that thing off right now, trying to just force it around the corners.
Now he's going to slide in behind the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre. As he gets a spot to get back down to the inside lane, he is going to settle in 12th place, and now he pulls down to the inside and he is going to make his way onto pit road.
And he realizes that front right is just messed up and needs to be taken a look at. So unfortunate for that 98 at Chris Stump. As I just mentioned, he needed a good finish here tonight, and now as he comes down pit road going one lap down, he's not going to get it. And I think his engine is blue. I think that might have been why he was going down. He might have seen the temperatures rising. I don't know if that was him or another car that was in pit road. Oh no, it was AJ Hamel. I'm now seeing the smoke. The 18 of AJ Hamel was on pit road already, and that engine just let go. He was already 22 laps down. I believe he was gonna call it a night. Oh, another car down pit road. That's the 20 of Justin McDuff once again.
So Justin McDuff on to pit road. One of our chase contenders having some issues here at Southern National. One chase contender though that has been having a solid night, that is the 39 of Bill Martin. He has been out front for 56 laps now and counting. No that 39 machine just yet. The 13 machine of Guillaume right now finds himself in second place, under attack from the 33 of Hugo Paquette.
Yeah, it's not just the fact that he's led at 58 laps. It's the fact that he's led 58 laps comfortably. As he said, no pressure has been applied to that 39 machine. He has just walked away on every restart. I think this is the closest anyone's ever been to him a few laps after a restart. Half a second separates Bill Martin and Guillaume Fortin. And as I said, Guillaume just focusing right now on hitting his marks, because he's got that 33 of Hugo Paquette just filling his rearview mirror.
We ride on board with the 17 of A.J. Rogers. Right now he is in fourth place. He does have the 51 machine of Justin Fuller all over his back bumper, but Fuller is going to get sideways, and that is going to allow the 6 of Joe Schaefer to make the pass down the backstretch, move Joe Schaefer now into fifth place.
A big move for that 6 of Joe Schaefer. I mean, he got caught up in that last incident just a little bit, has been able to recover and driving now like a man possessed, attempting to keep himself in the championship contention. And Steph Marinac having a bit of a rough night, still a couple spots behind him. This is a very good news for both Guillaume Fortin and Joe Schaefer, who were just a few points behind Marinac. I mean, Guillaume was only 12 points back now, with Guillaume sitting in second and Marinac sitting in seventh. That might be enough for Fortin to take the championship lead.
So as the 2 machine chases down the 51, Steph Marinac, who has been on a hot streak here, finding himself mid-pack at Southern National. It is so hard to be a dominant car week in and week out, but the 2 has had a good solid run. But Bill Martin right now, speaking of dominant cars, this 39 machine, he's led the most laps here tonight.
And Bill Martin continuing to open up that gap over the rest of the field. Now 0.6 of a second to separate him and Guillaume Fortin. And Fortin still got the pressure on him from that 33. Just behind them, though, a big battle shaping up between the 6 and the 17. Rogers holding off Schaefer. Schaefer got a little bit loose out of turn 2 that last time. And now we got a caution once again.
Caution flag coming out. I believe it might be for the 71 of Jeremy Watkins or the 31 of Brad Carpenter, who is on pit road.
It was the 31.
Let's go to our instant replay here. The 31 battling with the 81. That is Carpenter and McIntyre. They run door to door. And the 31 machine just going to get loose coming up off the corner and smacks that inside wall, and that is going to be enough to send him on to pit road.
And that's going to end his night as well. So he's going to join the drivers that have pulled it behind the wall. AJ Hamill is out, as we've seen. Chris Stump seems to be out, as well as Justin McDuff. So that's going to pretty much dash the championship hopes for both McDuff and Stump, as I believe after tonight that points gap may just be too big for those two drivers.
So championship hopes drawing to a close for some of these drivers, but we still have next week at Lanier National Speedway, and I believe that is the Mighty Midget 161, if my notes are correct. I'm a little sketchy because I read my notes wrong at the very beginning of the night. But yes, next week, March 5th, the Mighty Midget 161 presented by Carpenter's Tax Service. That is race number 4 in the chase. And then after that is our doubleheader, and that is going to be it for this Upstate Racing League season. But this race isn't over yet. The lights have gone out on the pace car, the 39 of Bill Martin, the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. And here we go once again, green flag back out as the 39 gets another great start.
That 33 of Paquette trying to get to the inside quarter panel of that 13 car, but Fortin just slamming the door shut. Now going to slide down to the bottom lane. Bit of a wobble from that 33 out of the corner. He might have just spun up those tires, and now a bit of a door bang between him and Rogers, as Rogers trying to make the pass on the outside, move himself into third place, but Paquette not going to let him take that position without a fight.
Side by side for 2 rows here, the 33, the 17, the 6, and the 51. All battling door to door for positions. The 2 of Steph Marinac, not sure where he wants to go just yet, as he is trying to follow or pick a winner. But that 17 of AJ Rogers and the 51 of Justin Fuller looking like they are able to hang tough in that outside lane.
And Rogers is not inside the chase at right now, as he did win one race earlier on in the season, but just missed the chase cutoff. We saw him try to play spoiler a few weeks back at Phoenix, and once again he's trying to get himself into caution once more. The 12 of Brian Rogers again.
The Brian Rogers in trouble here at Southern National, bringing out the caution once again. Let's go to our instant replay and see where it has gone badly for the 12 machine. We watch from high atop the blimp. You can see he's got a big wiggle coming up off the corner there. That allows the 90 of Matt Roll to get in underneath him, and a slight tap to his left rear is going to send the 12 of Brian Rogers on around.
And with all the excitement that's happened in this race, and just with how quickly laps have ticked down, we kind of missed our mark here. But normally on lap 61, we like to pay tribute to Dan Dubuque, one of our league's founding members, who sadly passed away a few months ago. Dan's career in the Upstate Racing League spanned the second highest amount of starts at 97, consisting of 1 top 5, 33 top 10s, and a best points finish of 5th. Dan was with Al and the rest of the league from the very beginning, and is going to be truly missed as a friend, racer, and supporter. We race in his honor every week, and next week, the race is named in his honor, as his nickname was the Mighty Midget.
As the field cycles around behind the pace car, Bill Martin on track and looking like he is the one to beat here tonight, as we're working lap 83, and Bill Martin has led all 82 completed laps. That is an outstanding feat considering how stacked this field is here tonight.
And our restarts now have been changed to single file now that we've hit the threshold for the amount of cautions in a single night. Restarts from this point to the end of the race will be single file only. So that might help a few drivers. I'm sure a lot of these guys weren't excited about starting on the outside line, but pace car now has its lights off, and we'll get to our first single file restart of the night.
Lights are out on the pace car. Bill Martin, Guillaume Fortin, and the 33 of Hugo Paquette will be your top three for this restart. AJ Rogers fourth, and rounding out the top five will be the 6 of Joe Schaefer. But here we go, green flag back out, and the 39 of Bill Martin trying to pull away from the 13.
And I'm sure Guillaume is very happy about not having to fight that 33 now to get to the bottom lane, and he's now just going to be focused on trying to chase down that 39. And the 39 Bill Martin has just been untouchable here tonight. I asked the question earlier if he was wearing off his tires, but from what he's shown so far, he has got indestructible tires, because there has been absolutely no slowdown of that 39 machine.
AJ Rogers in the 17. He has been shuffled out to the high side here. The 6 of Joe Schaefer trying to make the pass and move himself up into fourth. Meanwhile, the 51 of Justin Fuller still lighting up those rear tires, and he has been coming off the corners sideways as we near the end of this race. Those tires starting to show some wear, and Fuller having a hard time keeping them underneath him.
And the 2 of Marinac just trying to find a way to get around the 51 of Justin Fuller. Fuller, as you mentioned, struggling off corner exit, and again getting a little bit too low, hitting the apron just a little bit, getting a little bit sideways, but not quite losing enough speed to allow that 2 machine past him as he quickly slid himself back up the racetrack to block off the 2's run.
So Steph Marinac tucked in behind the 51 of Justin Fuller. They run 6th and 7th place. Right behind the 2 machine, that is the 88 of Matt McLean. He finds himself in 8th with Al Smith Jr. in that 96 machine. Right now, he is sitting in 9th. Jimmy McIntyre rounding out your top 10.
And the 2 of Marinac taking peeks to the inside of that 51 coming off the corner, and I think he's wanting to just set himself up to be on the inside now if that 51 makes a mistake, as we saw him try to make a move to the outside. The 51 quickly slammed that door shut, but if he stays to the inside, the 51, if he wants to slam the door shut, will have to try to force the car down. That would likely cause him to spin the car out if he's already losing grip.
Marinac now starting to search some lines. Big time loose coming up off of turn number 4, but he was able to catch it. But man, his heart had to jump up into his throat. Meanwhile, the 6 of Joe Schaefer continuing his march forward. He is now taking a peek to the inside of the 33 of Hugo Paquette, and Hugo is going to be tough to beat here on that outside lane. Hugo has had a lot of speed all night long.
Yeah, it's a tough battle. That 6 machine looking like he's also got possibly some right front damage from where I'm sitting. I'll have to take a bit of a closer look at his car, but now it's starting to get a bit of an advantage on that inside, as it looks like the 33 may have gotten tight and had to back out.
So the 6 of Joe Schaefer now moving into 3rd place. The 13 of Guillaume, well, he can see that 6 getting bigger already.
And at the same time, the 39 is getting smaller. 0.6 of a second is the lead for Bill Martin, and that's just something I've said many times tonight. The half a second plus for that hit for that driver. I don't think anyone's been able to be anywhere close to Bill Martin after maybe 2 laps after a restart. As soon as they get with about half a second, he just turns on the jets and pulls away once again.
So Bill Martin, who has now led for 100 laps, knows that the 6 of Joe Schaefer is getting closer, and these two are having a epic Rookie of the Year battle. And the 6 of Joe Schaefer right there trying to get to the back bumper of the 39, but first he has to deal with the 13 of Guillaume.
Yeah, and Fortin has been a driver that's enjoyed Southern National. I mean, he almost got his first win here at Southern National last season. Unfortunately, ran into some computer problems that forced him to retire from the race, and he has been strong here tonight. I mean, he moved himself up into second place early on and has held that position ever since, but now he's getting some very hard pressure from Joe Schaefer, but I think that's making Guillaume better. I mean, that gap suddenly between him and Bill Martin has disappeared. It's now down to 0.3 of a second, so the pressure from Joe Schaefer seems to just kind of be egging Guillaume on.
There is that possibility, but keep in mind, maybe that 13 has found something new as the 6 got a run on the corner there, gets into the rear bumper of the 13, but Guillaume keeps it straight, and Joe Schaefer backed off a little bit there, has to remount his charge once again. But that 13, you know, maybe saw something that the 6 was doing in his mirror and found a little bit of extra speed.
Oh, and here comes Joe Schaefer down to the inside into turn number 1. Guillaume gonna have no choice but to go high and let him go. Now we're trying to see if he can mount a counterattack on the outside. No, he's gonna back out instead and slot down to make sure that that 33 of Hugo Paquette doesn't get any sort of opening to try to take away a podium finish for that for Guillaume.
As we have 17 laps to go, the 6 of Joe Schaefer has moved into second place and now sets his sights on the 39 of Bill Martin. Can Joe Schaefer make this pass for the lead before the laps run out?
And I'm excited to see if that 6 can get to the back of the 39. That would be an amazing battle between the two of them, but with, as you mentioned, not very many laps to go, and with them finishing the laps with within 14 seconds, there is not much time left in this race.
No, there isn't, but the 6 of Joe Schaefer is closing in on the 39. He is almost to his back bumper, and Bill Martin in that 39 machine, who has led for 112 laps, now for the first time tonight has his first challenger under green flag conditions.
And Joe Schaefer is now right up to the bumper of the 39. Laps are ticking down. We're just over 10 to go as we gonna come around turns 3 and 4. Gonna be 11 to go this next time by. A bit of a wiggle there from the 6. He's gonna lose a bit of ground to Bill Martin. So Martin just having to try to keep himself consistent, and now we'll get to see, did Martin push too hard too early? Are his tires gonna have enough tread left on him to make it to the end of this race, or is Joe Schaefer just gonna cruise on by him?
10 laps to go with lap traffic just ahead of these two leaders. And how will this play into it? Very possibly could see these 2 lap cars move up out of the way, but it all depends on when these leaders are going to catch them and how aware these lap cars are of the race going on around them.
And these two drivers battled for the race lead. Guillaume just sitting just behind them and probably hoping that these two get into each other. And I say that might be a very real possibility, especially with just the conditions of short track racing. I mean, look how close those 2 cars are running to one another, especially through the corners. I mean, that 6 car is right on the bumper of the 39 machine.
And the 6 really gets into the corner so much quicker and has about the same exit speed as the 39. So we might see Joe Schaefer take advantage of that and really dive in deep into one of these corners to make the pass.
And now here he comes. Oh, a bit of contact between the two of them, and then lockup from the 6 as Joe Schaefer has to slam on the brakes as Bill Martin slams the door shut. Just under 5 to go now, coming to the line, gonna be 4 to go. And Schaefer has to make a move if he wants to have any sort of chance of winning this race.
So the 6 of Joe Schaefer all over the back bumper of the 39 of Bill Martin. Martin, who has led now 122 laps, here with 3 laps to go, trying to fend off the 6. And man, this one is an epic battle between 2 rookies here with the Upstate Racing League.
Yeah, and Schaefer is trying to diamond off the corners. Just under a lap and a half to go. coming to the white flag this time. Is the 6 going to lay the bumper to the 39? We're going to see white flag in the air. Bill Martin trying to lead from flag to flag.
Bill Martin on the backstretch for the final time, working his way through 3 and 4. The 6 of Joe Schaefer not able to do anything, and Bill Martin gonna come away with the race win here at Southern National.
A huge win for Bill Martin, exactly what he needed for this championship standings. That's gonna put him back into the title hunt with 3 races to go. And this is just a fantastic run from Bill Martin. I think there's hardly another way. He couldn't have dominated this race anymore.
An outstanding race here at Southern National. And guys, we're gonna set up our post-race show. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our Austin Designs post-race show fueled by Verge. And we have got our podium finishing drivers all up here ready to tell us their stories about the race. And Kelly, we're going to let you kick it off with our race winner.
Yeah, caught up now with Bill Martin. Bill, you win the race, and I think that was exactly what you needed to do. How do you feel about just being able to bounce back from the struggles you had early on in this chase?
I feel sick. I feel sick. I've been sick for the last 2 weeks. That's not why I've been struggling. I've been struggling because the 18 car went oops in front of the field. And then last week I struggled because I sucked while I was sick.
Well,
Ran myself out of gas.
Able to fight through the sickness and absolutely dominate here tonight. I mean, how are you able to just go so fast from the drop of the green flag all the way to the checkered?
The beauty of this track is you only have to go as fast as second place goes. So as long as I was eking a little bit of lap time every lap, that was the goal. I'd still have tires left. When stupid Joe eventually got free, and he did, he's a dick, total dick. But he fell for my "I'm gonna come down on you when you're underneath me" move, and he slammed on his brakes. That moron.
All right, well, you're battling with Schaefer not only on the track, but also in the Rookie of the Year standings, though I'm sure you don't really care about that as much as you do about the chase. And speaking of the chase, next week we're moving on to Lanier. And how does that track work out for you? Is that going to be one you're looking forward to? Is that a track that you're not so great at?
The track that I'm really good at in some cars and really bad at in other cars. I remember I'm okay in this car. We'll see if I feel better. I think it should be fine, but I have a really hard time in this car after the updates back in, like, what was it, 2017, I think. I was discussing it with Joe today. I have a really hard time feeling the brake pedal. Like, a lot of people have a hard time feeling the gas pedal because, you're not in a real car. But especially since I got into the VR world, I have a really hard time feeling the brake pedal. what I end up doing is I end up going to the corner too hard or too soft, and then I'll compensate by going through the corner in the middle too fast no matter what. I've been burning the tires up at a lot of the tracks that I normally wouldn't be. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
All right, we will see, and hopefully we'll see you again at Lanier. But before we let you go, is there anyone you wish to thank for your win here tonight?
All the sponsors for making this possible. You for interviewing me at the end. Coronavirus for not being the virus I have yet. To all the two-dimensional fans in the crowd, they're now three-dimensional, swaying back and forth like weirdos. And to Joe for falling for my move and not passing me. And for Guillaume for making me have to work really hard to keep the lead. It was not as easy as it may have sometimes looked. He was every bit as fast as I was. Faster a lot of the time, too.
All right, well, congratulations to you, Bill, and hopefully we'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, man. See you then.
All right, feel better, Bill. Now, moving on to our second place finisher, I believe KR will be catching up with him.
I have caught up with the 6 of Joe Schaefer, and Joe, that 6 machine, a little bit beat up, a little bit banged up on the right front, but it didn't seem to slow it down too much as you bring this car home in second place. Tell us, first of all, about your race, and then about that final sprint to the end of about 15 laps.
Well, first I want to bring up the fact that I didn't mean to dump Stefan earlier. I don't know. I thought he was going to give me the lane, and by the time that he had committed to pulling down, I couldn't get on the brakes hard enough, and just the way netcode works, I don't know if there was some of that involved or what, but I was happy to see that he didn't at least go all the way to the back. We did have to race with each other later on, so I guess that makes me feel a bit better. I really thought that I'd used the car up, getting relegated to the high side on a lot of those early restarts. I felt like I was in 6th place for half the race. I thought it was gone, and then that last run to the finish, I really felt like I had a lot left. I felt like I was the fastest car on track for the last 15 laps, and I made sure Bill knew about it. Obviously, he's my teammate. I'm not going to move him to win the race, and I'm not going to run him, up the racetrack to beat him. I wanted to get him clean, and I just, I probably needed 10, 15 more laps to do it by the book.
Well, the 6 does bring it home in second place, and you had for sure one of the fastest cars there in the closing laps. We were watching you work your way past Guillaume and then track down the 39 so quickly. But as you said, yeah, it looked like maybe 1 or 2 more laps and you might have figured out the combination to get around that 39 machine.
And see, the other thing is about trying to pass Bill is we've raced together a lot. We've got hundreds of laps against each other racing just like that. So he knows exactly what I'm going to try to do. And when he saw me arcing the entry a little higher to try and drive under him on exit, he closed down his exit so I couldn't get a nose under him without breaking the back end loose. So he knew exactly what he was doing. He did everything he had to, and the hard guy to pass. He really is.
Well, Joe, congratulations on second place, man, here at Southern National. No easy feat, but you found a way to get through some of these cars and end up in second. Any shout outs or thank yous?
Yeah, I want to thank the posse and Bill for running me clean tonight. Epic Media, as always, and you guys for doing the broadcasting, and Verge Currency for sponsoring the whole series.
All right, that is Joe Schaefer. Once again, Joe, congratulations on second place.
Thank you.
And now, Kelly, I'm going to let you talk to Guillaume in the 13 machine.
Yeah, caught up now with Guillaume Fortin, driver in the number 13, third place finisher here tonight. And Guillaume, you may not have gotten the win, but consistently finishing up in the front is going to definitely help you with your chase standings. And how are you feeling right now about your position in the championship chase?
I'm feeling pretty good. That was the point tonight, to be really consistent and finish in the top 5. I'm close to Steph, but I'm Joe was also really close to us tonight, so I really wanted to follow him when he passed me and just make sure that he doesn't get away. So I'm really looking forward for the next 2 weekends, finishing the top 5 again.
We saw a lot of drivers here tonight struggling with the exit of the corners, and how hard was it to put the power down coming out of the turn 2 and turn 4?
Actually, for me, it was pretty good exiting the corner, but I was a little bit tight in the center of the corner, so that's why I wasn't struggling on exit. I was just backing off the entry and the center way too much, so that's why Joe was able to like pass me at the end, and like the guys behind me, Hugo was able to catch me at the end, so I was too tight in the center.
All right, Guillaume, 3 races left in the chase. 1 of them at Lanier and then 2 at New Smyrna. How are you feeling about your championship chances with the position that you're in and with those 2 tracks coming up next?
Right now I'm feeling pretty good because we have a double point night at New Smyrna, and I'm pretty good there. I finished second last year to Steph, and Lanier I'm not really looking forward to it. Some year I'm fast, some year I'm not. So we'll see this year, but hopefully I'll be as fast as I want to be.
All right, Guillaume, thank you so much for coming out and talking to us, and anyone you wish to thank here for your 3rd place finish tonight.
Yeah, I really have to thank all the group at 09 Motorsport, Will, Daniel Pope, Dylan Bates, Parker, Matt, and Hugo for making such a great group of guys, and they're helping me every week to be faster and faster. And also Rumar Vinyl Design and Verge Currency for sponsoring this league.
All right, Guillaume, thank you for coming out and talking to us. Hopefully we hear from you again next week at Lanier. And KR, I'm going to send it back to you for some closing thoughts.
Southern National did not disappoint us here tonight. It put on a heck of a show for the All-Star race, and it put on a heck of a show here for the Southern Heat by Race Replicas. And man, Kelly, this season's drawn to a close. We got just a handful of races left. Even though the season's drawn to a close, this championship battle is really heating up.
I'm going to be excited to see what the standings look like after tonight. I mean, Steph Marinac not having the best night, finishing down in 6th, and that's going to cost him in the point standings. Guillaume, again, another good, consistent finish, and is maybe a chance for that 13 machine to win the championship without winning a single race. Joe Schaefer having another strong run as well, and that's going to help tighten up that lead. So there's going to be such a tight battle between those 3 drivers, and we're going to have to watch them next week. But Bill Martin, he's starting to make a name for himself and trying to bring himself back into that championship contention. And with 3 races to go, he's going to have to be consistently up at the front to have any chance at it.
All right, guys, nothing left but to go through our race results. Bill Martin, your race winner, led all 125 laps here tonight. Joe Schaefer going to bring it home in 2nd place, with Guillaume finishing in 3rd. Hugo Paquette rounding out 4th, and A.J. Rogers going to end up in 5th place here tonight.
6th is going to go to Steph Marinac. Justin Fuller in 7th. 8th, we'll see Al Smith Jr. Jimmy McIntyre Jr. going to finish in 9th, and the 88, Matt McLean, rounds out the top 10.
11th place will be the 42 of Brett Bartels. Brian Rogers Jr. in the 12 machine will finish in 12th. 13th will be the 71 of Jeremy Watkins. Matt Roll finishing in 14th, and 15th will go to Brad Carpenter.
Justin McDuff will be scored in 16th, Chris Stump in 17th, and AJ Hamble in 18th.
So, guys, that is going to wrap up the field, and we're going to wrap up the race for us here tonight at Southern National. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been another outstanding show, and Kelly, I look forward to next week as we head to Lanier National Speedway. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it should be another exciting race. I mean, this one, we saw a few cautions, but a lot of them were just from spinouts. Next week, I think we might see some more cautions, but it might be for more car contact, as that is a bull ring of a track.
That it is. So until then, guys, everyone stay safe, have a good night, and we will see you next week.
Bowling brings people together.
Right down the middle. You got it. Uh-oh. Good job.
See what you can do, man.
Wait.
That's a strike right there. Connect with family and friends. Go bowling.